Duty versus happiness in marriage.
All right, so one of my boys, one of my best friends, I don't want to mention his name. I'm not sure it's ready. His name out here for this topic. Um, you know, um, really inspired this topic.
Okay.
And I want to hear your thoughts on it. Just off of that, and then I'll share what I have in mind about it. I do have a little bit of adjustment on our philosophies on it. The core of our philosophies remains the same, but if somebody, my own philosophy with all these things is, especially when it comes to emotional intelligence, which is an ongoing thing. Nobody is ever completely emotionally intelligent, because what makes us human beings is that we're not intelligent emotionally. We still get caught up in our feelings, right?
Right.
So I've adjusted it, but I'm adjusting it. But I think if anybody is complaining about something, that thing is valid.
Absolutely.
I don't get to tell them they're wrong, because I still feel like wrong and right are irrelevant.
You're right.
But if somebody is expressing a
That's their
concern,
feelings. Yeah.
it becomes their truth. It becomes legitimate, and that's part of emotional intelligence that anyone can use in marriage and really
Right.
start to have. So what are your thoughts when you see this duty versus happiness in marriage? If you had to pick one, did you have to pick one? Is there, what are your thoughts?
I don't know. When I see duty, it kind of scares me. It, it reminds me of what do you call those? They call them a name. Oh my God. They call them a name. Like wives that just move in a robotic way. Like
Like
they move
zombies?
like zombies. They have
Well,
I think they
zombies are another name for military soldiers or something like that, right? I guess.
I think they're called like Stafford wives, something like that. I saw a movie one time ago, and they just act on how you want them to. Duty scares me, even though I know we also have a duty. There's a place for duty, and happiness is definitely very important in marriage. So if you ask me to choose one, I'm definitely going to roll with the happiness. Okay.
Now, I'm glad you said that, because the reality is that I want you to feel that way, because that makes you feel safe. If I give you the freedom to value happiness, you have a tendency to not ask me for happiness. That's what a lot of young men don't understand.
That is true.
The real very common saying is that you give yourself happiness. Happiness comes from inside out. We agree. But let's take this a little deeper.
Right.
right? Right? We agree. Like, you're the one responsible for your own happiness as a human being, period. We teach
Right.
our kids that.
Yes.
But I noticed something. Once people turn something to a talking point,
Ah.
they water it down.
Yes. They bastardize it.
Boundary. Draw a line. And this thing. What's the other words that they use? Controlling. All these different
Narcissist.
narcissists. They throw those words around. Everybody know what they mean. And then it gets watered down, because now you're caught up in your emotions when you're calling people names all over the place. You don't realize you're destroying your relationship with those labels.
You're right.
You know? So, so I'm happy to hear the way you said it, because it helps me teach it even better. I hate when, if you had come to me with the talking points, happiness come from inside out, and a woman should be duty. Me, I'm calling caps on all that. Like, that's not a feminine woman. Like, you're overthinking,
Yep.
right? You're overthinking. But I like how you told me that happiness is important. You didn't say what the source is.
You're right.
Right? But we also know, if anything, in marriage, we influence each other. Either we like to admit it or not.
Yes, we do.
There's something called environmental factor.
That's
Now,
real.
I believe that a man should set the tone of the vibes in the house.
I agree. 100%.
If he wants a happy home, because he values happiness too, He
Right.
calls it peace of mind.
Peace of mind.
Right?
You got it.
Right? That's the language. That's happiness. That's
Mm-hmm.
happiness. But the truth is that just like you call out everyone else, you're also responsible for creating that.
Yes, absolutely.
But here's the thing when it comes to relationships in general, it's an act of sowing seeds and harvesting back and forth all day long. That's what it is, you know. And when you sow seed, you understand something as a farmer. If you understand how farmers work, there are seasons.
Yes.
Farmers understand patience.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my God, that is
With
real.
with all this stupid patience, they realize that rodents can come in and eat everything
And
up.
yep.
Whose fault is that? It's not necessarily their fault. It could just be something they don't see. There are unforeseen factors, variables, things they can't see. But that's just part of life. So is it possible that your wife can bring certain vibes that's not your fault, but messes you up too?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Could be from work, could be from friendship, it could be from family, it could be anything.
Yes. And it goes back to that weakness or wickedness thing. If your first instinct is to go, she's just being wicked, she's a winch, you will hurt yourself because that may not necessarily, for the most part, like very likely, she's not trying to be a winch. She just caught up in something that she probably, just like we all do, but a lot of women, right? Especially when it comes to the romance, they can get caught up in their feeling. And if you just assume the position of say, let me help her feel safe, you become the farmer. You become somebody sowing a seed. You understand that also a function of patience.
Right.
You understand it's not guaranteed. You understand that she may not give you peace of mind as you want right now, but you can set the tone where she can eventually start to feel safe. And what she does is that she will take that in, multiply it because that's what the feminine energy does,
Right.
and then it feels like peace. And then you say he's lying, he's just a simp. But but you will never understand it because you're not even patient enough to try to understand what's going on.
It's chaotic.
Chaotic. So I think every party that comes to in a marriage is in their best interest to think of it as a duty. I believe that you should give your spouse the freedom to also relax sometimes and not think duty because that sounds scary.
It is scary.
If all you're thinking is duty, why would I want to get into marriage? Especially as a woman in this society. Right? What they want naturally is like there was a saying that I heard today that I think was accurate, which is women, right? They have this idea of wow, our marriage is all gonna be awesome, right?
Fairy
And
tale. Are you
fairy
kidding?
tale.
What?
And that's just the nature of a woman. And slowly but surely, wah 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 wah. Right?
Okay, what the?
But but a typical man does the opposite, right? He's prepared because in his mind, what makes him happy is that he's building a family structure, empire, dynasty.
Empire, yes.
He knows that comes with work. He knows that comes with unpleasant moments. But then eventually he starts to settle into the marriage. He just become complacent, right? He's not thinking you're not making him happy. He's just like, this is how this shit goes,
With marriage.
yeah. And people are going crossing paths, and then they call it they're growing apart.
Wow.
We're still human. We still feel these things. It's just that we're aware. That puts us light years ahead of everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So there's a
Interesting.
there's a dynamic here. Stop trying to pick one over the other. We're human beings. We're very complex. We're spirits. You can't try to bring us down to ones and zeros and black and white. It doesn't work like that. You will hurt yourself. Guess what? If you want to live in a cave by yourself and you don't want marriage, you won't hurt yourself. You'll be good. Problem is that you want marriage and then you're trying to bring something formula that doesn't work into marriage. It just doesn't.
I don't know. Oftentimes, when I see people that say they want to be by themselves, and it's no judgment, I just feel like the action is telling me something else. Cause you're cranky. We're talking about relationship. I remember at work, I was talking with my colleague, and she was talking about a relationship. She was going through some stuff, and I told her, I said, yes, sometimes you go through stuff up and down. no marriage is perfect, but
Yeah.
if we can do the work. I was trying to uplift that spirit. Another colleague of mine just said, "That's why I'm not in a relationship." I tell you, I'm alone because being in a relationship sucks. I was like, "Oh my god, that is
She,
not true."
she needs to buy a dog and die alone, like
She
Uncle
has
Kev
three
says.
cats. She has three
Oh,
cats.
she need a dog with that.
She's a cat lady. She's like, meow.
That is crazy. These people. Oh my
Yep,
god. Oh
yep.
my god.
Debbie Downer.
Ah.